All right, welcome back. What It Do podcast episode now, finally number 21. We are back. We know it's been a while. It's conflicting schedules. We're lazy. It is what it is. We're back, episode 21. Lot to recap. Lot to get over.
A lot to go over. The podcast has reached the age of 21 episodes, and I have also reached the age of 21 years. So we will
Cheers
be,
to the
we'll be
first
celebrating.
legal drinks with Gregory.
Yes,
Well,
sir. Yes,
legal
sir.
on the podcast. I've maybe had one or two with him on the side, but regardless,
In on camera, it didn't count. But anyway, regardless, we got a lot to go over, a lot to get in place and set up for the future if we hopefully stay consistent. But if you guys stuck around this long, you know the drill.
We are lazy, but our schedules really do not help each other. Like they are
No, not at all. They're pretty bad.
Backwards.
Yeah.
But, hopefully we figure it out. But let's roll the music. Let's roll into it. Let's get her done.
All right, let's go. One quick thing before we get into everything, guys. There's been some recent news of a very popular musical artist that we just wanted to bring up and have a discussion about, and bring light to a situation. Okay, we can all learn from something like that. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, Morgan Wallen, he was caught saying some things about a man, and one of those things
he said the N-word.
He since then, about 2 days ago, he released a 6-minute apology video. I actually enjoyed the video, but we'll get into that. I'm gonna let Joe go here on his opinion, and then I'll just chime in. So go ahead.
I mean, the whole opinion. I mean, is what he said right? Like, would I raise my children to say that? No, not 100% at all. You shouldn't say that. I don't think anyone of anything should say that if we're classifying this word as that bad, which I don't want to say it. You don't want to say it. It's, it is. He was wrong. Now, am I 100% on board with the whole cancel Morgan Wallen? Like, he should not have a career? No, I'm not going to lie. I'm not. Like, I will still listen to Morgan Wallen. I enjoy Morgan Wallen's songs. Does he have things he needs to work on in his personal life? 100%. I mean, he came out in the video, whether you believe him or not, he was on a 3-day bender. The dude has a problem with alcohol or something. Is that justifying him what he's done? No. But, like, am I distraught over this? No, because I can turn on any other station and hear someone else say it 100 times. Like, in my opinion, if this word is that cancel, then no one should be saying it because it's not a good word for anybody to be saying. You can't just because his ethnicity or creed, you can't just get mad at him. And especially when you look at the situation, like, in my opinion, it was not in a hateful way. It was not in a harmful way at all. It was on a Ring doorbell. Like, this wasn't TMZ, him coming out of the bar in Atlanta.
I'm pretty sure you're saying about a white guy, too. Not that it makes it okay, but
I'm just saying, it's hypocritical when I can hear this on the radio or hear anybody say it 1,000 times a day, and he says it on a Ring doorbell footage when he's hammered. Like, that's ridiculous. Morgan Wallen should not be canceled. I'm hoping he gets better with his problem, whatever it is. But, like, personally, I also listen more. I don't care. I don't listen to you for your values. I listen to you for your music. I listen to you for what you perform for me. So
right.
Morgan Wallen,
I can definitely see.
Still goated. I like Morgan Wallen. Get over it. That's I'm dead honest. Like, if you have a problem,
I got you.
I don't care.
No, I got you. No, I definitely see where you're coming from. And I think the whole discussion on like cancel culture and that is a whole different conversation to have. But I mean, like by human nature, we all make mistakes. Like, obviously some are worse than others, but I definitely think the whole canceling thing is not necessarily the way to go. My opinion on the whole situation is just like his videos that he's like, yeah, like, don't defend me, blah blah blah. Like, I was in the wrong. We know this. He's taking steps to be accountable. Like he said, he was, not that it makes it right, but he was on a 72-hour bender, and that was hour 72. He's recognized that he has a problem with alcohol that he needs to get fixed. He's reached out to organizations. Right. He said he's reached out to organizations to to better himself and with the Black community. Like, again, whether any of the stuff that he said is true or not, I believed him in the video, but like my reaction when the initial video came out from TMZ, I was like, oh fuck, man! Like I liked listening to your shit. Now I'm not like no one's gonna. I'm bad for listening to it. You know what I mean? I'm like this fucking
But you're
album's fire.
not.
No,
You like
I know.
you like.
But
I'm
that's my
just
thing. It's like it
so.
gets associated because it's you
I'm
can
just.
so
And this is
I'm
where
not
I
saying
don't want it to go a
wrong.
bad place. I don't want to. I know we differ on certain
No,
things, but it's like
this is part of what I'm saying with the problem with cancel culture or cancel culture because like okay say was just listening to fucking whiskey my way because that's one of my favorite songs from this fucking album
I
and
love
someone's
that
like
song.
hey, great song but if someone goes hey that's Morgan Wallen you're a piece of shit like don't you know what he did I'm like yeah but I just don't think it's that big of a deal I still like his music well now I'm a piece of shit because I'm not recognizing that as a problem when that's not the case it's just my values like I don't idolize him in this case where I hold him to be perfect and not do these things I just enjoy his music I'm not gonna go repeat him and like all this other bullshit like so that's where I'm coming from is like I don't think the whole canceling thing should be fair for him let alone for anyone that likes his fucking music
Like I
but
can like fucking Kodak. You listen to Kodak. Kodak's not a good person. Like he isn't done
right
right. Like I
exactly
listen to fucking Young Boy. Like he does dumb shit. All like it's fucking insanity to me. Like if you were listening to Morgan Wallen, just like I think this is a role model for my children, you're fucking insane. It's an entertainer. His
right
job is to entertain you
exactly
with songs. You raise
yes
your family, your people, what you think. This is entertainment.
yeah
So like the whole
yeah
cancel shit is insane. The whole those who forget history do and repeat it kind of shit. Not in this situation, but overall is fucking insanity. It's like you
and I
can't
get the
cancel.
whole argument too of like oh if he was drunk like what do you think he says like when he like sober or whatever and drunk thoughts or sober feelings or whatever the fucking the saying it like I get
They're
that but
not.
it's
You ever
like
been with the fucking five and you're hammered? You wake up and they're still a five, but you thought they were a seven or an eight. That's a fucking fact. Drunk thoughts my ass. Yeah, no, fuck you.
um
That's
yeah
that's all I'll
I
say.
don't know I don't think he's a horrible person but like he said he was in the wrong and again like he shouldn't have said that but I
Am
think
I gonna lose
we
sleep
as
over it? No.
right yeah
Am I
exactly
that
like
soft? No.
and I think that's part of it too. It's like why are so many people getting so invested in it? It's like it doesn't affect you at all, really, other than
Didn't
liking
affect
his music.
anybody except anyone that was there.
Yeah, no. So I don't know. It's just an interesting situation. But it seems like he's on the right track for reconciliation and all that good stuff. So
And that just
hopefully
brings me
that's
to a whole other like it's like
hopefully we'll all just learn
even
from the situation. You know, just learn
no, but it's
to
like even in
all get
society
better.
today, like me and you have different beliefs on things and we've talked extensively about them personally, me and you. But it's like at some ground we still have the same morals. That's why we can get along and still have different
Right.
beliefs, but our morals align enough to where we can, be friends and be close. That's
Yeah.
what's lost.
When
Like
you
that's what's
you was it
lost
you that
in
retweeted the
society.
photo that was like it was a guy holding a sign that said like we disagree but we can still be friends like I'm like yeah like why can't
No, I mean there's 100%, and not only on this situation at all. But I'm just saying, like me and you have talked extensively. We disagree on some, pretty major debating points, and we've had those conversations. And at the end, I don't think you agreed more with me or I agreed more. But it's like at the end of the day, we still have the same morals, the same heart, the same brain to think things out and be like, you know what, you don't agree with me, but it's fine because I still know the person you are. I still know like your character. So I am
right
okay with associating my name with you. Like that's what's lost,
right
and it's sad, really. It really
yeah
is.
yeah so like I said hopefully it's a learning situation for not just him but for everyone that felt involved with the
Everyone, yeah, no.
situation and hopefully we just all get better from it so
I mean, I don't know how to get better from him saying the N word, but maybe some. I don't know. Sure.
you just now you got a reminder of not to say it Joe that's
In
all
front of a Ring doorbell. You're right. Sure. I just want to like, what am I supposed to learn from it? Like, we talk. If our lives were entirely filmed and we were that famous, I guarantee you, me and you would be fucked over on something a long time ago. I promise you that.
well everybody yeah
Well,
everybody's done
everybody
something
would be.
we're human
Yeah, it's
but
like That's all I got on that. You know.
So yeah, that's Morgan Wallen. All right, let's get back to the show. So I guess what we should do is start it up with a Super Bowl recap, considering we were going to try and do a preview, but there we go for that.
I'm gonna take Bucks.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
You just got a feeling or what? I know you were in Vegas for the Super Bowl, so you had a much more fun experience as far as that goes. You want to go over the casinos, the bets, all that good stuff?
Yeah, so I rolled into Vegas. Saturday night I worked. Rolled in about 8 or 9. I didn't know, I didn't know what to expect. I'd never been to Vegas for Super Bowl, or I've only been to Vegas once past 21. But around my hotel, I was at Paris. Around my hotel, it was fucking packed when I rolled in. Like it was, not to get the whole shit started with the COVID or whatever, but it was cool. There was a lot of people, a lot of jerseys out, a lot of support. That. And the sports books, what was great about going a day early is the sports books that night weren't packed. Now, partied Saturday night with a buddy, partied, had a good time. Sunday morning, go down, wake up, eat breakfast, get to the sports books, slammed. Absolutely. Because the guy I was with that night and made his bets Saturday night. And I was like, well, I'm just going to hang out. But then Sunday morning I went and it was packed. It took a long time. But the prop bets are cool. Like, I know you're now 21. The prop bets are phenomenal. Those are really, really fun because, you could put $5 on a stupid prop bet and it could be 100 to 1. It's.
Yeah, I wish I would have been able to take a few.
I would have bet them for you.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. I honestly, like, I say this now and there's no way to prove it, but I wanted blue for the Gatorade.
No, I can't prove it either, but I told my dad the entire weekend, like, blue is, I think it was 9 or 12 to 1. I'm like, dude, it's blue Gatorade. And I didn't bet it. I didn't bet it. And I don't know why. But no, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I had nothing.
I placed 9 prop bets, not a lot on each, 5 to 20 or some of them, I don't remember. I think I ended up hitting 4 or 5. The best bet of the weekend, that, to be honest, with everything going on and the little sleep and the amount of drinks, best bet of the weekend was I bet Bucks minus 11.5, which, looking back, I don't know why I bet that, but
right,
hell of a bet.
But it hit.
I think I'd only put it hit. I only put 5 on it, but I walked away with a good chunk from that. I bet first team to score wouldn't win. Chiefs scored first, didn't win. That worked. I bet first score would be a field goal or a safety. That worked. I think the bet that ultimately pissed me off the most is I bet the biggest from the people I know was the first person to score, because the odds of that were going off pretty good. I bet McCole Hardman 35 to 1. And it pissed me, and the only reason it pissed me off is because they went deep to him like 2 or 3 times on the opening drive, and it was close. They were going to him.
Yeah. So they were just playing. They were playing with you on that one, yeah.
But no, it was really fun. It was it was cool seeing everybody in their own jersey. You'd walk by on your way to somewhere and just, if you like jersey, talk to them about it. Like, it was a cool experience. I highly recommend Vegas for Super Bowl weekend. But I'm going to tell you this: do not pay for the seats at the bar or the seats at the restaurant, because all the places we saw were $200-$300 a table. We sat at the video roulette table right outside the bar for free, getting free drinks, playing the same amount of money, watch the game. So that's my advice. I learned from my parents, so shout out them. But no, yeah, I highly recommend we should go next year. I highly recommend you go when you can, because that is a good experience.
I'm bound to pencil that in for sure. So do you want to talk about the game? Because were you surprised at all? I think pretty much everyone and their mother was calling the Chiefs, but I'll tell you what. Leading up, I wanted to take the Bucks because I was just talking myself into it. I liked the story of Brady having like 12 days to himself in Derek Jeter's house or whatever, no family or anything, and then Brady was, before the game, was like 4-1 when he wears white in the Super Bowl. Chiefs obviously were 1-0 with the Reds. I don't know. I just was slowly talking myself into it because everything you said for the Chiefs to me, like you, or not you specifically, but anything you would say for the Chiefs, I feel like you could have the exact same or something better on the other side with the Bucks.
I mean, knowing this is gonna be a breakdown of an answer, but like knowing Brady and his luck and also his skill and his ability to do what he does, like anybody says, it's hard to bet against Brady in that situation.
Right,
but
right.
in my eyes, this was the time to do it. This was the time to bet against Brady. So was I surprised? I was surprised at how the game went, yes. Was I surprised at the result? Like just the result itself? Not as much, but just the dominance that was shown from that game and how actually boring it was and how horrible the Chiefs looked. Oh, 100% I was shocked. Like that was a boring Super Bowl. That was not fun to watch at all. I mean, we left the casino to get food, go back to our room and just turn it on and I was hoping to see a comeback or something, but it was just not there. It wasn't. The only thing that upset me about that whole Super Bowl was, and it wasn't shocking, it was just upset. It's like Tom Brady should not have been an MVP. If you're a sports fan, you know why he was, and you know how it's always going to be no matter what. But that Bucs defense is the MVP.
Yeah, and I think to go off that, like I had said, I think there was just a specific tackle just early on within the first couple drives, and I said it's going to be Devin White MVP here if the Bucs win. And I think you could make the case. I think also like Brady, his first half was MVP-esque for the Super Bowl, and then he just didn't have to do it in the second half. But
there was not a lot of
do also
competition.
feel,
I agree.
yeah, and it's kind of I think the NFL has said if the Bucs win, Brady's going to get it, kind of thing.
I mean, it's Brady's 7th. I want to get into that later because this is our topic.
Yeah, he literally has more Super Bowls than any NFL franchise ever. That's crazy.
But that's a topic I want to get into later with the whole championship to go, because I know one where we completely disagree on, and I want to dive into it logistically and not argue as much. So I would like to circle back to that later.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I think I've got the numbers pulled up for that possibly. But no, and then the only other thing with Brady is just like the I don't know. There was a certain point on the third, I think it was the third Bucs drive where he was just throwing seeds over the middle, and I was just like, yeah, I think the Bucs have it. Like it was just, and well, to be completely fair, the MVP of the Super Bowl was actually Eric Fisher for being hurt, because those tackles for the Chiefs were just, it was horrible. And you can't blame them for not playing all year and then being bad. But it's like,
spot. I mean, but I think
it was crazy. I couldn't believe how bad it was.
Well, and being a Peyton Manning fan, playing Tom Brady, and my feelings on the whole the best ever situation, I will take a minute to toot his horn, because whether you think his play was the ultimate, what got the Bucs there, even though I think they have a phenomenal team around Brady, I don't think you can disagree that offense. Yeah, I mean that's a good team.
I think what Brady really brings is the culture, but then that's also something that we can't really prove. That's what I anyway. So,
I mean, at this point, I think you can, and that's what I don't know if it's culture, but the belief, when they signed Tom Brady, they knew what he expected, they knew what he was capable of, and knew what they're going to bring. Do I think that team is capable with another decent quarterback to do what they did? 100%. But just the belief he instills in that team, and he instills in those around him, having won 6 Super Bowls, and just the shape he's managed to maintain to 43. I got to take my hat off to the guy. I mean, that's impressive. Either way, that's something. And this might be crazy, but that's something I don't even think LeBron in his sport, where I think he's the greatest, has done. And that's why I think Peyton Manning is less than Tom Brady, because as great as Peyton I think was, whether your feelings on him, I mean, he's one of the greats, but I don't know, just this belief in this coaching and the being a player coach of Tom Brady is just, it's off the charts. So I gotta tip my cap to him on that one, because I mean, he did it. Not saying he did it with nothing, but he made those guys that weren't a playoff team before believe. So
yeah,
hats off to him on that one.
I mean, he fucking got Bruce Arians a ring, so.
And I love Bruce, so I'm happy for him on that one.
Yeah,
I like Todd Bowles too, so I was happy to see him get a ring.
Yeah,
Called a hell of a game. didn't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
have
No,
to because
their game plan was
his
great.
DNs were getting there. He could have called, cover. He could have called prevent, sent 3, and they probably would have got there.
Yeah.
And then the
Well,
only other note I want to. Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your thing, and then I can go off because it's probably the same thing.
I just want to. I am not a Patrick Mahomes fan. I am not a Chiefs fan. But the hate that Patrick Mahomes is getting in the credit, it's like that man tried his ass off. That man gave it his all. That is undeserved. That game is not on Mahomes a single bit in my mind. Not a single bit.
Yeah, and this is where I was gonna go because like there's a lot of like people are blaming him for drifting out of the pocket, but like a lot of the play, and even if you look at the numbers, like he didn't have the best stat line for the game, and neither did Brady. But that's again because the second half he didn't have to. He was playing a different football game, but Mahomes like he was being like that guy that was just like he was chucking balls up just to make a play because he had to. He had to try to keep his team in it and light that spark that they usually can just flick on with if they choose. And I think it's there was that series of plays where he literally just ran around for his life and then somehow got away from a guy and then chucked up a ball that you couldn't even physically understand how he got it there.
Oh,
and
yeah. That was the epitome
more
of the
specifically,
game right there.
Yeah, there's the one that he was literally laying horizontally and then just flicked it. Granted, I think that like obviously it's easy for me to say, but I think it's an easier throw than we think it is to try to complete. But regardless,
with the
fact
motion
that
of your body, but like
right,
hit him in the face
right.
mask. Like that's a throw.
Granted, everyone wants to forget that Devin White also tipped it, but still, it hit the Chiefs receiver in the face mask on the goal line and then fell to the ground. So I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I fully agree with you. You can't blame Mahomes on that at all. He was throwing a little bit rough in the first half and just early on in the game.
Know I'm not a
But,
big injury guy. I know he was hurt. I know he wasn't. I'm not big on that though. Like he chose to play.
Goes deadly. Ask TJ Green.
No, I am for that stuff hurts. Like, but I'm glad he chose to play. I'm not big on the injuries. Like, you chose to play. That's what you felt as a quarterback was the best product for your team, and I'd probably still agree. But like, I have not seen a team like as a team that uninspired to play a Super Bowl since the Broncos played the Seahawks with my Peyton. Like, those two teams are on par with like that's some of the worst Super Bowl performances I've ever seen just from a team, not a single player. Like, just uninspired football. Like it was, and it's funny because I think what happened to the Mahomes and the Chiefs is like, I don't even know how to put this where it's going to make sense, but like they got the reverse Brady game plan where we said for years with the Patriots is like, look, you just got to get a natural pass rush and let the coverage stick, and they did. They didn't have to send a bunch of people. They got a natural rush. They got to them, and they let those 7 or 8 guys in the back end do their job. So it's easier said than done, I know, but they did it, and that's how you used to beat Brady. That's how you beat the Chiefs now. That's how you beat all these good teams is you just got to get that natural rush, and they did a phenomenal job of doing it.
Yeah, it was a great game plan and really, really, really good execution. Yeah, so speaking of the Super Bowl, now that it's over, so we are officially into the off season. And as of today, there's been another, crazy transaction by an NFL team, but I kind of want to go over this stuff. Obviously, we have the Deshaun rumors that everyone's been hearing, the Matt Stafford trade to LA, and then today J.J. Watt gets released by the Texans. So I guess the best way to start this is what kind of a dumpster fire is the Texans organization?
That's a loaded question. I don't know. I mean, it's obviously a dumpster. It's bad. It's not. You don't want to be a Texas fan right now. I don't know. Are we seeing the last remnants? I don't know your feeling of this. Are we seeing the last remnants of Bill O'Brien? Like, was he that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we are, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
no
100%.
He lit it on fire on his way out. That's all he was doing.
Yeah, like there was a trail of gas and he just sparked that thing up.
Yep. No, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you're horrible. You're a Texas fan. You're a complete fire sale. It's over.
I don't think it's all on Bill O'Brien either, though, because the current ownership and people in charge have been making even greater mistakes. Well, it's hard to argue that the DeAndre Hopkins thing is you can beat that as a mistake. But I mean, the telling Deshaun Watson, not even though he didn't ask, telling Deshaun Watson that he's going to be a part of the coaching and the GM hires, and then just not
and then you
listening to
don't
him.
do it. I mean, it's just.
And then I saw another report today because everything on Watson's side says it's like he's played his last game in Houston, and then I saw a report today before I went out, and it said like I think the GM Nick Caserio or whatever called him and says he's confident that Deshaun is going to come back, and I'm like, dude, how can you be confident in that?
I've been seeing those reports too. I don't know. I haven't followed it as closely as I would have liked. I have some knowledge, but it's like I don't know. Like at this point, there's no reason for him to come back. There's obviously a rift. Even if he comes back, it's not a healthy situation for it. Deshaun's still a decently young player. Like why? It's time to move on.
Well, yeah. Like I mean, if you're Deshaun, like you've gone down this road so far, you might as well finish it and get to a better situation because they're still bad. They just got rid of one of their best player, probably their best player on defense, and their offense is pretty piss poor. Their O-line's bad, and they don't have a first-round pick for the next 2 fucking years. So it's like, why would you want to stay there? And you can't, honestly, you can't even blame Deshaun Watson. Like that's the thing with this is kind of being.
It's a business. He doesn't. I can't blame him. No, I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
It's a business. Okay. He wants to spend his prime where he's going to be successful and make money for his livelihood after football. Like I can't blame him. Like it's easy for us to sit here and be like, dude, you're going to get $30 million from that. Like that's a lot of money to us, but it's like, we're going to hopefully have jobs for the rest of our life. His job is, on a time frame with age,
right?
Where he's going to have to do something. So like I get it.
Yeah, and I think like Deshaun's thing is like he got his bag. His first year of his deal was last year anyway. Like he's fine. He just wants to win now. You know what I mean? And I think his health is a factor. Like they're not doing a good job of protecting him. Whether it's like the O-line completely or just the team in general, like supporting him. Plus, the whole like people wanting out is kind of there's a diva like stereotype with it, and I think that's partially on the NBA. But I definitely think we're getting away from that, and we're seeing like how bad these organizations are run. That are supposed to be top of the line, world class. Like you're literally one of 32 in this $1 billion league, and they're so bad, like so bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to check them besides the other 32, which is I might say part of the problem because I don't know what else you would do. But I mean, like. You got away with it for this long, like they obviously are. Okay.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to put it, but it's like, yeah, like Deshaun needs to get out. What intrigues me about Deshaun is the Broncos. I don't know why you wouldn't want to go there. I mean, that's a money situation for me with Judy.
Yeah.
They got Hamler, I believe. The Broncos, they got Melvin Gordon. That to me is a cool situation. Mile High is a great place. I think it's Noah Fant. Like, yeah, that's a money situation. Mile High is a cool place to play.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing too. Is the quarterback market this offseason is kind of insane, and there's only a select amount of teams that are really in on Watson. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Bears in that case, but. That's a long shot, and they should have drafted him in the first fucking place. I think the Broncos are a really good spot. I don't think San Francisco's as invested as people think. The Colts may be in. The Colts may be in, but the Texans aren't going to fucking send him there because they're in the division. I don't think Miami's as in as people think. I think Tua's going to be fine. He hasn't really had any weapons to play his kind of ball. So yeah, I really do think that like leaves you with like the Broncos and then maybe the fucking Panthers, but they're not really in a move to try to give up that much capital either. Broncos are Elway's kind of waiting on a thing, and like his quarterback projects in the past couple years, the past couple tries have not panned out. The offense, they have the skill positions there. They still have Von Miller, who's going to be healthy this year. You'd like to think they have a okay defense. Like Vic Fangio is the head coach. He needs them to make a move. Like it makes sense. The Broncos make sense. It's just if they can get it done. But if you're the Texans, you'd like to send him to the NFC. That's the only problem. And your buyer is there. San Francisco.
I'm not as high on Deshaun Watson as well. And then listen, this is a mess.
I wasn't until I looked at his career stats.
I mean, stats aside, I'm still not. I'll hear him, but I'm not low on him. Like I'm just not
No,
as
I
high
know
as I think people are.
he's
Like,
not Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning
like
in your case,
I
or
like the tier of quarterback I'm putting him at. Like, I feel like people are putting him top 5. I'm not putting him top 5.
who's
Top
your
10.
four?
He's
I'm not
top
saying
10
you're
quarterback for
wrong.
me.
I'm
He's
just
not top.
curious. Who's your
My top
who's your
5 in the
5?
NFL right now.
Sure.
It'd be Russell
You
Wilson.
were starting a franchise tomorrow. You get to pick a guy.
Okay, only
team.
one. I'm picking. If I'm starting Patrick Mahomes.
Right. Well, say like it's a draft. So like Mahomes is gone. Who's next? Who's your 5? That's ahead of Watson.
Rodgers.
Okay.
Russell Wilson.
Okay.
I'm. You're gonna think I'm stupid, but I would still take Kyler over Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. No, I mean you'd have the experience on Kyler, and I think Kyler's a little healthier. But
I would still take. Who's left in the NFL? I would take at this point.
I'd take Josh Allen.
Oh yeah, Josh Allen for sure. I wouldn't take Brady. He's just old.
Yeah. So he's on the cusp of 5. If you had to give it to him anyway.
He's 6 to 8 range. I'd have to draw that out.
Yeah.
But
I mean, just
like
to point it out, he's averaging almost 270 yards a game, almost a 68% completion percentage. He's thrown 104 touchdowns with 36 picks, which goes out to almost it's a 2.88 touchdown to interception ratio, and his career passer rating is 104.5.
No, I mean it's not bad. I do think it's I'm not gonna say skewed, but like they've had a lot of garbage time in Houston.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Especially this year.
No, yeah, you're not wrong, and like that division wasn't very good for a while. Like, I mean, the Colts were kind of running it with Luck, but without him there, like they've kind of struggled, and even before Luck. But yeah, the Watson thing is going to be interesting to see. I think he'll wait it out. It'll be interesting just because like
He'll
it'll
succeed
probably
if he goes
happen
anywhere
after
other than Houston. That's what I'm gonna say. If he's in Houston, no success. If he goes anywhere else, I see success for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, and then are the Cardinals the number 1 team for JJ Watt here, or what's the deal? What's the inside scoop there?
But it's like, I mean, as a fan, it's nasty, obviously. Yeah. But this just
because they cut him. It's not like he's up to sign to anybody. Like,
I mean, as a Cardinals fan, obviously, I mean, you get Chandler Jones back healthy. You got J.J. Watt on the other side. I mean, that's gross. That's a gross pass rush right there. So, I mean, obviously, I'd like it. I don't think they go after J.J. Watt personally. I mean, to be honest with you, I think there's other problems that they would fill before J.J. Watt. But it's a player like J.J. Watt. Whatever your feelings are on him, like I wouldn't turn him down at all. No, but I don't think he's the number 1 destination for them. Maybe I don't know if the D-Hop trade, if they're close, if that helps. Like, yo, come to Arizona. But I don't know. I would love it, but I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah. Apparently, the top 4 teams are the Steelers, Browns, Bills, and Titans. Well, but they are among about a dozen teams that have expressed interest in him. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, I don't know why all 32 wouldn't be. He's a good player. He's a great player.
It'd be kind of funny if the Titans go for him and then they bring Clowney back or something. So they've got this is the Houston Texans defense down in Tennessee. Yes. So if you guys do or don't go up after JJ Watt, what do you think? What do you see the Cardinals doing this offseason? Who's on there? What are your top needs in the draft and in free agency? What do you think happens? You trade up to get Kyle Pitts still or what?
I think that's a hell of a sign. I think Kyle Pitts could still be there, to be honest with you.
Where are you picking at?
I think we're 16, I think.
Yeah, he could fall.
He could fall. A tight end would be really clutch. I've said this for like 2 years now, but I think our young receivers are good enough. Like I think they're good. They just don't use them. They need to develop them. I'd like to see a good young corner to complement Pat Pete in his final couple years, however much longer he's got. I think Buddha's still good back there. I'm really looking forward to Isaiah Simmons' second year, seeing what
I think he'll have
do
a
with
big year.
them. They just got to find what they really want to do with them and let him go.
Yeah.
I would like a nice young linebacker. I'm mostly defensive focused because I think the O line is fine. I mean, what you always take an O lineman if you can get one, but I'm heavy defense focused. And then just another year with Kingsbury and Kyler, just trying to get things figured out. I don't know. I think this for me is a make or break year. Like this is playoff or bust. Like I'm in or out. And I'd like a good playoff performance. Because to me, this team should be a slight contender with some of the glimpses I saw and what I hoping to get in the draft, what I'm hoping to see this year. I'm not talking favorite, but I'm talking, they're a team you talk about come playoff time. So I'm
it's going to be
playoffs this year.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be tough again for the Cardinals. I mean, I'll tell you what, they should have been in the playoffs. Fucking the Bears. Ugh, they just got set up to be embarrassed. But Mitchell Trubisky MVP, baby. But anyway, side note. So no, I think the Cardinals, it'll be tough just because the division's going to be strong again next year with the whole Stafford trade to LA. They look like they'll be pretty strong.
Yeah.
Seattle seems pretty dysfunctional at the moment, but we'll see what happens with them. And then you got the Niners should be coming back pretty strong on defense, and then whatever they're going to do at the quarterback situation. But no, I would agree with you. I think the Cardinals are a contender team. They're obviously like outside looking in as far as Super Bowl chances, but they're close. Like they're not years away. Like you've got your guy at quarterback, you've got pretty solid foundation on offense and a pretty solid foundation on defense. You just got to get those pieces to fit around.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. But if they do the same shit again this year, like I've got to be out. Like I'm gonna turn into the Chicago Bears fan, just praying for one more year.
How many
one
years
more
does
year.
Kingsbury have left? Like before he gets fired, like.
I mean, that depends. If they do what I think they're capable of, I think it could be turned into a short, mid to long term thing. If we get another year where it was we were close, then I think he's got one or two left. Because I'll tell you what about the NFL and sports in general, kind of Tommy, is like mediocrity is worse than just being bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that will get you canned long before just being blatantly bad.
8-8 seasons in a row. Just saying.
I guess it's kind of weird, but it's true. Like, just getting that hope, like, all right, we might be something, and then getting it crushed every year. That's going to get you. It's going to get you on the streets a lot faster.
Especially if you're mediocre. If you're mediocre, you're close enough to being good, and you just need to change a couple of things. But if you're bad, it's like, okay, we're bad. Like the Lions, they signed. What is it? Dan Campbell's their head coach now.
Yeah.
Yeah, his deal is 6 years long. So they told him like, "Yo, you're gonna have time. Like we know this. We're in this for the long haul, but we're gonna change the culture here and we're gonna do this stuff right." So it's, I don't know. It's interesting. The Bears are gonna be. I don't even fucking know where to start. Like, David Montgomery showed flashes. He was one of the few 1,000-yard rushers this year. Apparently, Allen Robinson is open to returning to the Bears, but they still haven't fucking talked to him since the end of the season. Shocker.
Allen Robinson's like a receiver Deshaun Watson situation. Like, why the fuck do you want to be there? Like, let's move on. No offense, but like, let's move on. You're so good. You're in such a dog shit situation.
He needs to just go to somebody with a quarterback, like just for the sake of him. But I want him to stay because hopefully, if he stays, that means we got the quarterback situation fixed. We only have Nick Foles on the roster next year at the quarterback position. The O-line is still interesting. Like they've showed flashes as well, but they need to improve. The defense, I'm excited for the new DC. He's our old safeties coach, and he was under. No, yeah, well, no. But hear me out. His scheme. Hear me out. His scheme is supposed to be very similar to Vic Fangio, which is the 2018 defense that was one of the best in the league. And everything, from what I've heard, obviously this is going to be biased sources, but he's one of the most intelligent defensive minds in the game, and it's very similar to Sean McVay, but on defense. So I'm excited for him and to see the defense improve. But Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, they need to step up. We've got a lot of pieces. Huh?
I hate this. I sorry to interrupt you, but I hate to
No,
say it. Like I have you and a couple other friends that are like diehard Bears fans, and like it sounds fucked up, but like I want them to do like just good enough to where it's like, God, this would be funny if this happens, and then it happens, and it's like the part of me that's like fuck you, that's funny, but then I'm like, and then I go through it with my own team, I'm like, fuck, like this hurts, and you've been going through it for a couple years now. I just had last year, like I gotta,
well, and like
I
the
feel the
Cardinals
pain.
and
Like you've
Bears
been
are
going through it for a
very
while.
similar. Like
This
they're
last, oh
very
yeah,
they're very similar as far as like how they perform and just like they're in it enough to make you like fuck yeah, I love football, but then also I hate my fucking life. Like it's just
yeah,
they're both really good examples of that.
they're always on some
Um
shit, and it's just like I might kill myself this Sunday, or we're going stupid. Like it's
right, right.
insane.
It's either, bet the house on this fucking team, or I literally want to burn every recollection I have of them. But yeah, I mean the Bears are like Jalen Johnson was really good last year. Cole Kmet was really good last year.
I
Kyle Fuller
love
is going to
Cole
be in the last year.
Kmet. You guys don't use him right. It's the
Not
most
at all.
frustrating part about watching the Bears is Cole Kmet is a gamer. I don't know if
Yeah,
elite, but Cole Kmet is a gamer, and they just
he's fucking good.
fucking waste him.
Yeah. So I don't know. If I were to make the moves, I would send Fuller on his way for some picks if we could get him to somebody, just because he's going to be expensive to try to keep around. Um, the cornerback for the Troy something for the Rams is a free agent, and he'd be solid opposite to Jalen Johnson. I think Eddie Jackson, as much as I know you hate him, and he did have a very bad year this year, I think he'll step up with Desai being the new head coach, new DC. Um, I don't know. They've got a lot to fix, but at the same time, they are really close. Eddie Goldman is coming back, but I think he's really tradable. Roquan Smith had a really good year, but then Danny Trevathan was really bad. Well, not really bad. He just had mismatches. So I don't know. If defense, if they fix the scheme, they can be there, and then they just need to figure out who the fuck's going to be quarterback. But it's for me, if it's not Watson, I was okay with Stafford. Derek Carr is probably not available. I don't want anybody else, so you have to try to trade up in the draft. But I'm not that confident in any of these other guys other than Trevor Lawrence, maybe Justin Fields. But I don't know how
You
I feel
don't.
about him or Zach. So they're
I
just
don't
in a
even.
bad spot. So
That's a
you
whole different
have to send.
episode, but
Yeah, it is.
I don't
I
know.
mean,
I don't know.
like after all that being said, like Deshaun Watson is like the fix for all of that, but he's going to cost a
I
lot,
I
and
don't.
he's got to accept any trade that where he
I'd
goes because he
like
got
to
to.
think he is, but I'm not 100% sold. That's the Bears' entire problem. It's a
Oh,
it's a
it's
it's a
fucking play
vast
calling
problem.
first off, but
No,
I
it's a
I, I
vast problem. But
think
like, I think the culture in that Chicago organization is a part of the problem more than people think. Because just from what I've seen, and I think Mitch is bad, but like there is a culture issue there. That's not the only
culture
there, but
issue
there is a
as in like
culture issue.
from the top, or are you saying like from the team, like the players?
I'm saying from the I'm saying from the players, or I'm not even sure where it's from, but there's a culture issue, and I. This might sound
Well, I
insane, but
think they're to an
it
extent
reminds
they're
me
okay
of
with team veto.
no, I do. It reminds me of like a Jay Cutler attitude, and I like Jay
Oh no,
Cutler. That dude's
literally,
it's
it's
like a
yeah,
Jay
it's
Cutler attitude has just bled into that. It's like we're gonna be good enough and do like, but it's there's a culture because that
not
team
my
is good enough.
fault. This guy's
That
fault.
team is good enough to do work, and I hate them. But I can be honest, that team is good enough to do damage, and they just don't, and they do enough to fuck themselves. And I
Yeah,
don't know what it is, but to me, like the last couple of years of watching football is like just really resonated the culture of like because I mean you understand me and you played high school sports like that
yeah,
culture is a
yeah,
big
yeah.
part of it like it's a
Absolutely.
belief it's something but like in the NFL it's a real thing and I don't see it out of the Bears I don't even know why but it's like there's a culture problem.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with you because they have problems that are deeper than just what's on the field, and that's just clear if you ever watch a game. So I don't know. I don't want to fucking talk about them anymore. They depress me. But um, I guess a good way to curveball this, but we can both stay pissed off is
I'm always
Trevor
pissed
Bauer.
off.
to
I
LA.
stay pissed
What the
off.
fuck?
Dude,
Trevor
it's
Bauer
a
to LA.
fucking it's a fucking bullshit move. And if you're a Dodgers fan, you know it's a fucking bullshit move. You just don't want to admit it. These motherfuckers are pulling the New York Yankees with more money, just buying the whole fucking league. They're gonna try to win more championships because they have the most money. It's fucking horseshit. If you're proud of this, you're a fucking loon. I hate you because you're just full of bullshit. Like, what's
Congrats on your
impressive?
championship last year, but how the fuck do they have Kershaw, who they gave more money last year? Now they are getting David Price back because he opted out last year. They have Walker Buehler, who's young,
Walker
and now they
Buehler's
have
fucking
Trevor Bauer.
disgusting. Walker Buehler's fucking nasty.
Walker
If
Buehler
I
is
had to-
arguably the best pitcher on that roster. Trevor Bauer probably
If
is
I
now,
had to
but
face if I had to face Walker Buehler, fucking third or fourth in the rotation, I'm fucking pissed off because that dude is disgusting.
imagine it come playoff time, like they don't have an ace on the mound. Granted, you have two of the least clutch pitchers in baseball as far as the playoffs go, but
It's still
I think
fucking
that got
Kershaw.
pushed last year. Right. And
No,
their
that shit
rotation's
pisses
decent.
me
Like they
off.
still have Bellinger, they still have fucking Mookie on a crazy deal. The only way that it apparently works is Turner is on the market. I guess Milwaukee just put in a
shit.
big whoop.
You
That team,
lost
and they have a great
Ginger.
farm
You're
system.
fine.
I don't get it. I
No,
don't know. Baseball, San Diego has a chance because they got what, Blake Snell and Yu Darvish, and they had a decent rotation anyway.
But it's like you don't. That's what I don't. That's what I don't give a shit about the regular season. Like,
Right.
yeah, shit's gonna fall as it may. But you get this team in a 7-game series.
You're
You
fucked.
don't beat them 4 times. There's no
You're
way.
fucked. You're fucked.
You beat Clayton Kershaw tonight.
Have a chance.
Well, here's fucking David Price. Oh, you beat him. Well, here's fucking Walker Buehler. Like, there's just no out there. It's
You might get
horseshit.
lucky if you get Price and Kershaw twice in the playoffs. If you get them both twice, you might be able to scrounge out 4 wins, maybe. Like that's.
But it's like,
and if the Dodgers are dumb enough
and
to
it's
do
not
that,
like their offense is a fucking walk in the park. Like, they could put up 8 to 10 runs. Like,
bro.
it's unfucking fair. I don't even want to talk because it pisses me off.
There's a few teams with a chance. Like the Yankees are going to be pretty decent again. The Mets are making a run. Apparently, they're interested in Chris Bryant, which he hasn't good lately, but he's Chris Bryant, and they've got a pretty solid squad. Like I said, San Diego, and then the Cardinals with the addition of Arenado. That'll be interesting because they've got a pretty good rotation too, and a pretty deep lineup. So the NL is going to be kind of interesting, but.
I
Fuck
agree, but
the Dodgers,
dude. I don't see you beating the Dodgers now. Like, there's just no like.
It doesn't make sense. I mean,
until you
Kenley Jansen's kind of not who he was, but it's like, fuck, dude. Like, how do you beat that team?
He's not Mariano Rivera, but fuck, they're not going to have to use him that much because these fuckers are going to be up 3 to 5 runs every game. He's going to be rested as shit come October if we get the season in October. I don't fucking know, but.
Well, and what the fuck with Trevor? Like, I thought he was kind of an asshole that wouldn't do this type of thing. But then again, he's the asshole.
Trevor Bauer was the exact opposite guy.
Yeah,
I was dead wrong.
Yeah.
When they like, fuck you, I'm going to the Marlins. Like something like
that.
It's like,
resign with the Reds. Like what the fuck? No, he's going fucking ring chasing, you bastard. Fucking LA culture. Damn it.
Like the only fucking Trevor Bauer might just be much of a prick where he won't stay in the game long enough to do enough damage because he's going to get thrown out for murdering a fan in the 3rd row or something. I don't fucking know, but yeah, no, it's a bunch of bull. I personally feel it's a bunch of bullshit. If you're a Dodgers fan, you know it's bullshit, but you're like, you're whatever.
Right. Well, I mean, they've got to like start enforcing the luxury tax and the salary cap a little bit more, right? Like, come on. The Yankees have been doing it for years, and they don't care because they just have such a large fucking market.
I can't blame the Dodgers, but it's bullshit.
Well, like, put it this way. They went out and did the Mookie deal, and I'm like, how the fuck do they have this much money to do this? And then they go sign Bauer for $100 million. Like, what the fuck? It doesn't make sense. Like,
no, it doesn't. It's like, this is what it's like. Like, imagine fucking Dustin Johnson wins the Masters. The next tournament he enters, they're like, all right, we're going to give you 3-stroke lead to start. It's like, what the fuck? He just won. Why the fuck are we giving him more shit? Like, it makes no sense.
Side note here, the Cubs were at almost cap space, so they're like, let's sell literally everyone, except they kept Bryant and Baez, but then John Lester said he'd come back for $5 million, and they said no.
Why would
No. But
Rod Lester for $5
because
million?
he wanted to retire a Cub, and he was part of the ring.
Sign a one day then, asshole. Sign a 1 day.
So instead, he signed for $10 million at the Nats, and then but apparently now they're trying to come to a deal with Jake Arrieta for no fucking reason. So
why?
I don't know what
Jake had a fucking 20-game run. Jake is not good.
the Cubs aren't going to be competitive, so it's fine. I'm just making fun of them because they apparently do care about the salary cap. So
it just doesn't matter. So I don't know why they do. Like D-backs, I couldn't even tell you if they have a fucking team taking the field because I haven't heard shit. I have no idea what they're doing. They're like, we're just going to be the Dodgers fucking batting practice. And
do they have anyone on their team?
No, they're like, we got a roof that opens and closes. Fuck it, it's good enough. And we got a pool in our stadium. That's all they fucking have. It's the most annoying shit I've ever seen. Arizona's fucking baseball epitome right there. They're like, we got a cool stadium and a couple players. Like, shut the fuck up. You don't do anything. Like, it's so annoying. They watch the Padres, the Dodgers. They watch everybody like, we're going to try to win. They're like, fucking full Avengers. I don't think I will. It's fucking horseshit.
Well, and then the Giants had their run. Like, the Rockies were decent for a couple year stretch there. Oh, you know who else will be decent? The Braves will be decent. The Braves will be all right, you know.
But that's fine. They'll take if we want to talk about our own teams, my team is doing literally under the bare minimum. Like, the bare minimum would be like, make me think you're trying. They're like, we're not even gonna hide it. Like, we're not fucking trying a bit.
Yeah, they like haven't signed anyone. Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're absolutely.
Not a fucking
I didn't even think of that. But you're...
they haven't done shit. It's not like they were good and you're like, we're gonna build the fucking team. They were bad and they didn't do shit. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. But whatever, fuck it. We can't even go to the fucking games anyway, so what does it matter?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. All right, and then just to wrap it up on a more positive note.
You gotta be pissed off. I was like happy the whole time. You gotta be fucking pissed off.
The PGA Tour, they're out in Pebble Beach this weekend. Spieth is leading as of today. At the end of the day, he's minus 12.
Where the fuck did he get his mojo back?
I think people were like, "Yo, is he gonna like be good again?" And then he's like, "Yeah, okay, sure." He hasn't like won a
2 years.
Yeah, he hasn't won shit in a minute. And then last week was the Waste Management Open up in Scottsdale/Phoenix. We did not go, even though we promised ourselves we would last year.
It wasn't worth it.
Granted,
it was not worth it.
They only let 5,000 people in. That's why the tickets were so stupid.
It wasn't. For me or you, I don't think it was a COVID thing. I think it was the price of the tickets and the experience you were going to get was not worth it at all.
No, I fully agree. Well, I'm saying like with COVID, it was a limited amount of people, so then the prices were higher.
No, yeah, I'm just saying for us, like it wasn't like, oh, like I don't want to. Like it was. I'm happy that because I know we talked back and forth about buying it. Like the snaps and everything, that would not have been. That would have been a waste of our money for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do wish. I mean, I'm happy. My guy Brooks won. He won again. He like has won the Waste Management Open like 3 fucking times in a row, and then he took Pebble Beach off. He said, so hopefully he's back. But I know you don't give a shit. But that's cool. I mean, he came out of fucking nowhere. He played bad the first day. And,
shot even the first day, and then fuck you at 19 under. Like I don't know what you're doing.
Well, and I looked at his stats too, and he fucking had 2 eagles on the entire trip, and it was both on the last day. And he just came out of nowhere, just fucking shot to the top.
Well, no, I'm sitting at the casino Sunday talking to these Cowboys fans. I'm not queer. I just, I was being friendly. And then, so out of nowhere, they're like, yo, Brooks is gonna win. It's on 17, 1900. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, he was even through the first round. They're like, nah, yeah, Brooks is like up 2 shots with 1 to play. The guy behind him got 2. I'm like, where the fuck did you come from, Brooks?
No, I don't know where. Well, and then did you see the eagle that he hit? He chipped up onto I think onto the 16th. Which hole's the crazy one? 16?
Where everybody always going ballistic, the par 3.
Yeah, it's either 16 or 17. Yeah,
16's the par 3, 17's the drivable par 4, but 16's the famous hole.
I think it was 16, and he chipped up, and it just kind of rolled in, and everyone went fucking nuts. But then, like, he said afterwards, like, someone asked him, like what was the plan there? And he's like, just put it close. He's like, Yeah, that ball was not supposed to go in, but I got fucking lucky. So that's pretty badass. That's to sum up a golf, though.
I don't hate Brooks. It's just I know you're a huge fan. I'm not. I'm just not a big fan.
I mean, part of it is just because he fucking hates Bryson, and I hate Bryson too.
No,
so I'm like,
Bryson.
yes.
I can
like
respect
he'll talk shit to him, bro. But
I fuck Bryson. 100%
yeah,
fuck Bryson.
It's a shit. Fuck, I hate that asshole.
Yeah, no.
Bryson, if you want to come up,
I wish
you can, but just tell you to fuck off.
I swear to God, Bryson, come on. I would tell you to go kill yourself the entire episode, but we'll take it.
Yeah, I think he's got a couple.
I wish the waste management was bigger this year. As I live like 3 miles from the course they play at.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would traffic was still. It was like enough where traffic was still a bitch, but like there was nothing going on. So
right.
It's cool. I hope next year, come waste management time, we're back to good, and me and you can get out there and really enjoy ourselves. But who fucking knows?
We doing an Omni this year or what?
If Omni goes, we're going. I mean, that was a great
they're
time.
going. They are going.
That was a phenomenal time.
Yeah, no, it was. I just want to go for like the actual day this time though.
Oh,
we only got a couple holes.
No, yeah, if we're in year 21 now, like we're going to go.
All right. Just confirming. All right, well, do you got anything else? Because that kind of wraps it up for me. We can just do the closing stuff and the things that we're going to promise to do next week, and then it'll be in a month or so. But
keep the fans waiting. No, it's just like it's been a while. What's going on in your life, Greg? Let them know how you been, what's going on, anything new. You gotta be personal. You're all business. What's going on and what's going on with you? I haven't talked to you in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
No,
I shot a 99 today on a course that's like a par 63. So I'm like, ooh.
Okay. I was like, that's not bad.
No, I did pretty bad. But a lot of those were some generous scores on myself just to punish myself or whatever. But no, it's been good. School's okay. It's school. It's getting better through and through. What the hell else do I have going on? Nothing really. I don't know. I'm setting everything up for the summer. I'm going to be working a lot and with the internship and other stuff on the summer, but
shit, that's
should be doing all right,
man. We gotta get.
No, we got 3 months. We got more.
We got time, but it's coming up.
Yeah.
I do.
Be here before. Oh no, you froze.
Friend of
the. Restart. You do want to what?
He said this summer they're having.
Yeah.
You ready? This summer they're having boat parties. And he really wants us to fly out there.
Who is? Core?
Keaton Swan.
Oh, hell yeah.
So this summer we need to make a flight out to California to see our buddy Swan, have a little boat party, play our round of golf finally, our challenge.
Oh shit. 2 years in the making, but all right.
Yeah.
All right,
no,
yeah.
But
yeah, I'm down. We can make it work. All right. Well, if I know we got just as a preview for the stuff we've got planned coming up here, we'll do March Madness as we get closer to that. We'll do that even because we got kind of fucked on that last year. We've got some plans for a couple different ideas for the NFL draft again as that gets closer up in March. Right? That's March. Yeah, March. And then we'll do I have to do my taste test for the beer tasting.
That is on the way.
Yeah, that will be here. We just need to be in the same room so you can organize that. But we will figure that out. That will be here. That was backed by popular demand of fucking 12 viewers. But
all 12, very, very, very big fans.
You got to start somewhere. So, all right. Well, we'll see y'all.
See y'all next follow episode. Us on the social medias.
Yes, absolutely.
WID_podcast. We don't have a lot, but it's quality content. Really need to be more active with it, but it's coming.
The Twitter's good. There's some good retweets on there.
No, the Twitter's nasty. The Instagram, it doesn't have a lot, but the Instagram's nasty. It's got some good stuff.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Later.